Music crosses all divides, even the infamous divide between North and South Korea. In 2008, Michelle Kim and other members of the New York Philharmonic gave an unprecedented concert in North Korea. Michelle's own father had fled from North Korea at the end of the Korean War. This was an emotional return to the place her father called home.
Even talking about it now gives me a little bit of goosebumps and I can cry on a whim. But my parents have talked about something called Han. It's something that we carry as Korean people. It's deep sorrow, deep, I don't know, feeling of something, feeling something. And my parents always said, we as Koreans have Han. And I thought, okay, we have Han, that's great. It's like, you know. So I went there and singing and playing Arirang, I thought, oh my gosh, this is what it is. This is Han. And all of a sudden, the war and the people and their history all came together. And I thought, this is what Han is. And as I was playing, it was just automatic. It just felt a tremendous sadness and happiness. At the same time, the longing and the sorrow and all that emotion all came together. And I think that's what makes Han for the Korean people. We just went through so much.
And you mentioned your own personal history, and can you talk about that? Your father was in North Korea during the war?
Yes, so his family is from a place called Suncheon. It's north of Pyongyang. And his father was a minister. And his father was also a minister. So when they were escaping during the war, the ministry was destroyed by the army there. And then my grandfather promptly made the escape with 8 children and all landed back safely, taking 6 months to get down to South Korea. But during that time, it was traumatic for everyone because they had to see all the death and travesty during that time and hunger. And so my dad remembers that vividly, and he talked about it, and I've invited him to go, but he was so traumatized by the experience that he was afraid to go back.
And Governor, what is it like when you listen to Michelle play and when you hear this New York Philharmonic? What is the emotion that you experience?
네, 당시 공연 당시에 미셸 킴이 계속 눈물을 흘리면서 연주를 했습니다. 이렇게 연주를 하면서 계속 눈물을 흘리면서 연주를 하니까 이제 텔레비전이 계속 미셸 킴을 이렇게 줌인을 해서 여러 차례 잡았었죠. 그러니까 많은 사람들이 울면서 연주를 하고 듣는 사람들도 울면서 듣고 특히 이제 아리랑은 뉴욕 필에서 평양 공연을 위해서 특별히 편곡한 그런 아리랑이었습니다. 그것이 이제 울림이 그때 상당했었고 많은 사람들이 울면서 연주하는 것이 또 전 세계로 전달이 됐었는데 어제 다시 그 곡을 그래서 평창에서 들었습니다. 그래서 저도 그 당시에 그 감정이 다시 살아 올라왔었는데 이것이 정치 외교를 넘어서는 힘을 가지고 있다는 것을 다시 한번 느꼈습니다. 그래서 우리 다시 한번 시즌 2를 추진할 생각을 가지고 있습니다. 네.
Other members of the New York Philharmonic also reflected on the power of performing before North Korean crowds over a decade ago, and this year for a global audience at the Pyeongchang Peace Forum.
The concert that the New York Philharmonic played in North Korea in 2008 was part of a goodwill tour, if you will. Obviously, you know, we have no presence there, and so we sort of served as musical ambassadors to just share something peaceful, a peaceful language, which is music. It was an incredible experience, something that none of us ever thought we would be able to experience, and it was really, we were received with so much warmth. It was really a very memorable time.
It's a cliche to say that music is the universal language. We all say that, but it was remarkable at that time that there was a tangible proof of that. It was absolutely true, and it was very obvious that we were speaking this common language. We were free of our minders, our interpreters, and interacting directly one-on-one or four-on-four. And it was kind of a heady experience to realize that we shared this human love of that music. You could see that they had internalized it as much as we had.
I do believe that music really has a message of peace. And so whatever we can do to promote an olive branch of some kind is extremely necessary. And I think our job as musicians is to be able to extend that to our fellow man that we don't share a language with, that we don't share many things with. But this is one thing that we can share, is the human reaction to something beautiful that has nothing to do with war or anger.